You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast. Hello everyone. I hope you are all doing well and that you are enjoying the football. My name is Damien and I am one half of the Learn English Through Football team. And I am based in London, where the weather is as dark and grey as I am feeling at the moment. It's just after the 2026 World Cup playoff semi-finals, and my team Ireland were beaten on penalties against Czechia, and we are out. After victories against Portugal and Hungary in the group stage, and then being 2-0 up in the first half yesterday, I was starting to dream about Ireland making the finals this summer. Unfortunately, they didn't make it, and we'll have to wait another 4 years.
Okay, hi, I'm Gavin, and I'm a Wrexham and Wales fan, and you're listening to languagecaster.com.
It's just me today, as Damon, the other member of the Learn English Through Football podcast team, is busy in Tokyo. I wonder if he will be watching the upcoming friendly between England and Japan this week.
Hello, my name's John. I'm from Hull. I'm a Hull City fan. You're listening to languagecaster.com.
Right, apologies for the delay in sending out this podcast. It has been a big family weekend for me here in London. On today's show, we are going to look at some of the language from those 2026 World Cup playoff games and look at the phrases reach the final and move closer to the final. We will also try and predict some of those finals in our predictions, and we will also be looking at some new entries on our Football Language Forum.
Čau, já jsem Zdeněk, fanoušek Arsenálu z České republiky a vy posloucháte languagecaster.com.
Thank you for that message, which was in Czech. And you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast, or as we used to be known, languagecaster.com. We are going to have several more of these messages, or stingers, throughout the show, so see how many you can recognize. And if you can, send us on a message saying you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast in your language, or maybe you could add your name and which team you support, for example. We'd be really grateful to hear from you. Just record the message and send it on to contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com. Right, here's the next message. Do you know what language this is?
Du lytter til languagecaster.com.
Okay, so today I am looking at some more phrases to describe when a team qualifies for the next round of a competition or maybe even a final. First of all, let's take a look at to reach a final. Ireland will not be playing in the 2026 World Cup final after losing to Czechia in the semi-final of the World Cup playoffs. At one stage, Ireland were leading 2-0, but were then pegged back by the home team before losing out on penalties. So we can say that Ireland did not reach the final playoff game. They failed to make it to the final. Of course, the Czech Republic did reach the final, where they will play against or face Denmark. So to reach a final or to reach the next round means that a team has made it to the next round or qualified for the next round. A team has defeated another team to progress to the next round. They have knocked them out to do that. Here's an example from the Wales defeat to Bosnia in their World Cup playoff semi-final. More agony from 12 yards for Wales, this time to deny them a shot at reaching this summer's World Cup. That's from The Guardian. And in this example, we can see that Wales were denied or stopped from going to the finals. They did not reach the finals this summer. Here's another example that describes Bolivia defeating Suriname to progress or to reach to the next round of playoffs. Bolivia rally past Suriname to reach World Cup playoff final, and that was from ESPN. Now, the headline also used the term rally past, which shows that Bolivia were losing but still went on to win. They were 1 down but came from behind with 2 goals in 7 minutes to rally past Suriname, to defeat Suriname.
Merhaba beyler, ben Türkiye'den Mert. Şu anda Language Caster dinliyorsunuz. Sevgiler.
We can also hear the phrase to send them into the final as another way of saying to reach the final. Here's an example from the BBC about that Czechia versus Ireland game. Jan Clement converted the 5th and final spot kick to send the Czech Republic into a home final against Denmark on Tuesday. And this means that this penalty was the one that won the shootout and therefore meant that the Czech Republic won the semi-final and reached the final. The penalty sent the Czechs into the final. Of course, those playoff matches were only semi-finals, so nothing has still to be decided. But after these victories, the teams are closer to the finals. They are 1 game away from securing a spot in the World Cup finals. Here's another example from the BBC about Italy's win over Northern Ireland in their semi-final. 4-time winners Italy moved 1 game closer to a first World Cup since 2014 with victory to end Northern Ireland's dream in their playoff semi-final in Bergamo. So, move closer to the finals, send them into the final, reach the final and secure a spot are all related to this idea of qualifying for a final or a tournament.
State ascoltando languagecaster.com.
Do you know any other phrases connected to the expressions we have used today? Or maybe you know some in other languages. And if you do, then drop us a line at contact@learningenglishthroughfootball.com. Right, next up we have our predictions, and we have 2 matches this week, both from the 2026 World Cup playoff finals. The first match is from Europe and sees Italy travel to Bosnia. Okay, so the big question is whether Italy can reach a World Cup final tournament for the first time since 2014. It seems incredible that the Azzurri have failed to make or reach the finals of the past 2 tournaments. They travelled to Bosnia and Herzegovina to decide which team will qualify for the 2026 World Cup. The Bosnians defeated Wales on penalties in their semi-final, while Italy comfortably defeated Northern Ireland 2-0. It will be tough, and no doubt they will be nervous, but I think the Italians should make it, maybe 2-1. There are other World Cup playoffs taking place in Mexico, and the game we will focus on is Congo DR from Africa against Jamaica from the CONCACAF region. This will be a tight game, but I think that DR Congo will reach the finals, maybe winning 2-1 also. Now, this game takes place in Guadalajara in Mexico, where I will be going to in the World Cup in the summer, so I might be able to see them in the finals, where they will play in Group K, along with Colombia, Portugal and Uzbekistan.
Hola a todos, estáis escuchando languagecaster.com.
What do you think of our predictions? Which teams do you think will reach the finals? Let us know by coming along to the forum on our site. We have also recently had questions and comments on phrases there, such as open up a team and sit down a keeper. So go along and find out more about these and many more phrases there. It's a really good place to practice using football words and phrases. Oh, and don't forget to come along to any of our social media sites. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and many more.
Właśnie słuchasz languagecaster.com.
And remember, our website also has a huge glossary with hundreds and hundreds of football terms, expressions, phrases, and cliches about the beautiful game of football. Please tell all your friends about us and give us a like or a recommendation on your favorite podcast or social media platforms.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Rudy et je suis un supporter de Liverpool. Vous écoutez Learn English Through Football podcast.
Yes, that message was in French from Canada. We have also heard messages in Czech, Danish, Turkish, Italian, Swedish, and Polish, all languages from 6 of the 8 teams left in the UEFA playoffs. We also heard from a Spanish fan and a speaker of Bemba from Zambia. And well done if you recognize any of those languages, and we'd love to hear from you if you'd like to record a message in any language that you know.
languagecaster.com.
Thank you everyone for listening. This week we have looked at the phrases rally past, reach the final, and move closer to when describing teams' chances of qualifying or progressing to a tournament or a final. You can get in contact with us if you hear or see any of these phrases, or maybe you have another football phrase or term you'd like us to explain. Drop us a line and say hello. Enjoy all the football. I will be watching a couple of the 2026 World Cup playoff finals, even though Ireland are not there. What about you? What will you be watching this week? And we'll be back with another football expression very soon. Bye-bye.